Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Geo Knowledge Revamped. I am sure all of you have observed, and some of you might have wondered that when you get up in the morning, it's raining, and in the evening the sky is so clear it seemed as if there was no rain. How does it happen? We will study about that under the heading Fundamentals of Weather and Climate. We will find out the difference between weather and climate and the various elements and the components that we need to know to understand weather and climate. To begin with, let us see what is climate. Climate is the general weather condition over a period of 30 years. Which means that almost for 30-35 years we do not see much of a change in the atmospheric condition of a place. It can also be defined as sum total of the atmospheric condition of a large area for a longer period of time. Some terms which you might have read somewhere or maybe you have heard like tropical, temperate, maritime, arctic, monsoon, tundra or arid, these are some terms that we use for climate of the world. To understand how climate is different from weather, we need to know what is weather. So see the definition of weather. Weather refers to the state of the atmosphere over an area at any point of time. That means at present, whatever is the atmospheric condition, that can be termed as weather. We cannot call it climate because climate is a combination of many such weather conditions. Weather keeps on changing. The changes are more frequent in weather condition. That means in the morning, the day is sunny. In the afternoon, it gets cloudy. And maybe by the evening, there is a rainfall. That means within the day, within 24 hours, we may see different types of weather conditions. Sunny, cloudy, muggy, sultry, rainy, chilly, foggy. These are some terms that we normally use for weather condition. So we have understood that both weather and climate, they are atmospheric conditions. But there is a difference in the duration and the area covered. Weather is the atmospheric condition of a small area for a short period of time. Climate is the atmospheric condition of a large area for a longer duration of time. For the study of both weather and climate, the elements are also same. Temperature, atmospheric pressure, wind, humidity, precipitation, these are the 5 major elements that we need to study in detail to understand the weather or the climate of any place. Now I will take up all the elements one by one. 3 things about each element we will study. Definition, the instrument which is used for measuring that element, and the unit in which that element is being expressed. So let us start with temperature. Temperature is the degree or intensity of heat present in the substance or an object. That means the heat of the atmosphere, that is temperature. Now temperature is measured with the help of a thermometer, and that unit is expressed either in degrees Celsius or in Fahrenheit. The second element is atmospheric pressure. The atmospheric pressure can be defined as the pressure exerted by the weight of the atmosphere. We normally think that the air doesn't have weight, air is light in nature, but it is not so. Air also has weight. Hot air is light, it does not exert much pressure, but cold air is heavy, it exerts a lot of pressure on the surface of the earth. We make use of barometer for measuring this air pressure. That is expressed in millibars or kilopascals. The third element is wind. Wind can be defined as the perceptible natural movement of the air from a particular direction. In very simple words, we can say the horizontal movement of the air. The speed of the wind is measured with the help of anemometer, and we express that speed in kilometers per hour. Besides the speed of the wind, we also need to know the direction of the wind. To know the direction of the wind, we make use of wind vane. The fourth and the very important element of weather and climate is humidity. Humidity is the amount of water vapor present in the atmosphere at a given temperature, which means the quantity of moisture present in the column of air at a given temperature. This is very important element because it helps in prediction of rainfall. We make use of hygrometer for measuring the humidity of the atmosphere, and we express it in percentage. The fifth element is precipitation. Precipitation is any liquid or frozen water that forms in the atmosphere and falls back to the earth. That means release of water in solid or liquid form by the atmosphere. There are many forms of precipitation, but the most common form is rainfall. So I have shown here the instrument that we make use of for measuring rainfall. It is called as rain gauge, and the quantity is shown in millimeters or centimeters. In this segment, we will study about the factors which affect the 5 elements of weather and climate. First, we have temperature. Temperature of a place gets affected by latitude, altitude, distance from the sea, and ocean currents. Latitudinal location of any place affects the temperature. We divide the globe into 3 parts, that is torrid, temperate, and frigid zone, on the basis of latitude. So if the place is located in the torrid zone, that place will have high temperature throughout the year. If it is located in the frigid zone, it will have low temperature throughout the year. In the same way, altitude also affects the temperature. With the increasing height from the mean sea level, the temperature decreases. This is called as normal lapse rate, in which at every 165 meter, the temperature falls by 1 degree Celsius. So the places which are at a lower altitude have more temperature. The places which are at a higher altitude have lower temperature. Distance from the sea. This is also a factor which affects the temperature because water bodies help in regulating the temperature of the place. If the place is close to the sea, the temperature will never be very high or very low because water will control the temperature. But the places which are very far from the sea will have very high temperature in the summer season and very low temperature in the winter season. In the same way, ocean currents, their role is confined to the coastal areas. The places along the coast which receive warm ocean currents, there the temperature increases for a while. If they are experiencing cold ocean currents, then the temperature will fall down. Air pressure is highly regulated by the temperature. Temperature is the main governing factor in air pressure because when the temperature is high, the air becomes light and it rises up. This reduces the pressure on the surface of the earth. But when the temperature is low, the air becomes heavy and dense. It sinks down and creates a lot of pressure on the surface of the earth. Temperature and pressure, they have opposite relationship. When the temperature is high, the pressure is low. When the temperature is low, the pressure is high. There are 2 factors which affect winds. These are latitude and distance from the sea. Latitude does not have a direct role to play in deciding the direction or speed of the wind, but latitude affects the temperature, temperature affects the pressure, and both temperature and pressure together affect the wind direction. How does it happen? Normally the winds blow from high pressure to low pressure area. As we have already studied that the places which have high temperature, the pressure will be low, and from there the wind will not blow out, rather the winds will come towards the place. In the same way, the place where the temperature is low, the pressure is high, from there the winds will go out. So winds will blow from high pressure to low pressure area. As temperature gets affected by latitude, on the basis of the temperature distribution, we have distribution of pressure belts and wind belts, about which we will study in the upcoming slides. Distance from the sea, it does not have a very important role to play in the direction of a wind, but it affects the speed of the winds. The places which are close to the sea experience fast blowing winds, but the places which are very far away from the sea, there the fast blowing winds are not observed much. Three factors which affect the humidity of a place are altitude, distance from the sea, and ocean currents. Altitude has to be studied with reference to temperature. We have already studied that the places which are at a lower altitude, there the temperature is high. The places which are at a higher altitude, the temperature is low. So the places with low altitude, high temperature, there the rate of evaporation is high. Therefore, humidity is high. Whereas at higher altitude, the temperature is low, the rate of evaporation gets affected by that, and humidity gets lower there. Plus, humidity or water vapor has weight, so they cannot travel very high up in the atmosphere. They have certain limit up to which they can rise up. Distance from the sea, that has a great impact on the quantity of moisture. So the places which are close to the sea, their water body is nearby, therefore the level of humidity is high. The places which are far away from the sea, they do not have any water body to add water vapor in the atmosphere. Ocean currents, the currents which are coming from the warmer region, they carry more humidity than the ocean currents which are coming from the colder region. There are three factors which affect the precipitation: the form and the quantity. These are the two aspects of precipitation which are affected by altitude, distance from the sea, and relief features. Altitude mainly affects the form of precipitation. The places which are at lower altitude, there mostly precipitation takes place in the form of rainfall, but at a higher altitude, sometimes the precipitation may take place in the form of snowfall. Distance from the sea affects the quantity of rainfall. The places which are close to the sea normally receive more rainfall than the places which are far away from the sea. But distance from the sea alone does not affect the quantity. It has to be accompanied by relief features. Relief features have a very important role to play in controlling the rain-bearing winds. If there is a relief feature, that relief feature stops the rain-bearing wind and compels the wind to cause rainfall. So, if the place is near the sea and there is no relief feature to stop the rain-bearing winds, then rainfall will not take place. So, all these factors together control the quantity and the form of precipitation. Here we can see the general distribution of temperature on the earth. The places which are located between 23.5 degree north to 23.5 degree south, there the temperature is high throughout the year. But the places which are located from 23.5 degree north and south to 66.5 degree north and south, there the temperature is moderate. And the places which are located above 66.5 degree north to the North Pole, and below 66.5 degrees south to South Pole, there the temperature is low. So depending upon the latitudinal location, the temperature of the place would be high, moderate or low. This has been covered in detail in my video Maps and Globe. Please watch the video to know more about this. We have already understood that the temperature and pressure have opposite relationship. The same thing is applied here in the distribution of pressure belts on the earth. Equatorial region has high temperature, therefore there is an equatorial low pressure belt. In the polar region, the temperature is low, therefore there is polar high pressure belt. In the subtropical region, the temperature is lower than the equatorial region, therefore there is subtropical high pressure belt. In the subpolar region, the temperature is higher than the polar region, therefore there is subpolar low pressure belt. But besides this distribution of temperature which is affecting the pressure belts, there is another factor which affects this, that is called as Coriolis force. When the earth is rotating, it has the tendency to deflect the air towards the north in the northern hemisphere and towards south in the southern hemisphere. So as a result of this, when the air rises up from the equator, it comes back after some time because it cools down in the upper atmosphere. But it does not come back directly on the equator, it gets shifted to the subtropical zone. In the same way, the air which comes down on the subtropical zone after reaching the surface of the earth again gets heated up because the temperature is not very low there. Therefore, it again starts rising up, but it gets deflected or shifted little bit towards the subpolar zone. So from subpolar zone, the air starts going up. This is the second factor which affects the distribution of pressure belts on the earth. Another thing which I have already explained, that winds always blow from high pressure to low pressure area. We will find the same logic is applied here in the distribution of wind belts. We have northeast and southeast trade winds blowing from subtropical high pressure belts to the equatorial low pressure belt. We have westerlies blowing from subtropical high pressure belt to the subpolar low pressure belts. Again we have polar easterlies which are blowing from polar high pressure belts towards the subpolar low pressure belt. Now as far as direction is concerned, the direction of polar easterlies and trade winds are same, but the direction of westerlies, that is different from the other two winds. I hope the difference between weather and climate is now clear to you. Plus you also have come to know about the various elements that we need to know to study about the climate and weather of a place. Let's do a quick recap of what we have studied today. The sum total of atmospheric condition over a large area for a long period of time is called climate. The sum total of atmospheric condition over a small area prevailing for a short period of time is called weather. The elements which are used to study the climate and weather of a place are temperature, air pressure, humidity, wind and precipitation. Temperature is defined as the degree of hotness or coldness of an area. Air pressure is defined as the weight of the air exerted on the surface of the earth. Humidity is defined as the amount of water vapor present in the column of the air at a given temperature. Wind is defined as the movement of the air horizontally. Precipitation is defined as the release of water in solid or liquid form in the atmosphere. Some more points. Instruments that we use for measuring temperature is thermometer, Air pressure is barometer, humidity, hygrometer, wind speed is measured with anemometer, and rainfall is measured with the help of rain gauge. The elements of weather and climate of any place are affected by altitude, latitude, distance from the sea, relief, and ocean currents. There are 3 temperature zones on the earth: torrid, temperate, and frigid. There are 7 pressure belts on the earth: 1 equatorial low pressure belt, 2 subtropical high pressure belts, 2 subpolar low pressure belts, and 2 polar high pressure belts. There are 3 permanent wind belts on the earth: trade winds, which blow from northeast and southeast; westerlies, which blow from southwest and northwest; polar easterlies, which blow from northeast and southeast. That's all about climate and weather today. If you want me to cover any particular aspect of weather and climate, or you want me to make a video on any particular topic from geography, kindly put it in the comment section. And thank you for watching this video. For more updates, kindly visit and like my Facebook page and website. At the end, I would request you to subscribe to my channel. Please. See you.